Travel Rural Now welcomes you to the Burke and Wheels in Toowoomba. I'm here with Albert Hackford and we're going to discover the new Burke and Wheels. Welcome, Albert.
Hello, good to be with you.
Good to see you. Now, this has been an incredible project that you have started here. Now, tell me a little bit about the history going right back to 1863.
Going right back to 1863, there was a hotel on this very site called the Exchange Hotel, and in 1956 it was purchased by the Lennon's Hotel Group, which was building 3 hotels in Queensland at the time, one of which was at this very site in Toowoomba. And they began a project to build Toowoomba's, at the time, biggest high-rise hotel, which was 6 stories plus a basement. Finished in 1957, obviously with the demise of the Exchange, unfortunately, but they built something that has certainly stood the test of time and is still standing now. Fast forward to, I guess, a year ago, or a year or so ago, we commenced our biggest refurbishment of this property to what it is today.
Congratulations, it truly is amazing to walk into that fabulous circular door that you have to push, and that incredible chandelier behind us. It is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful to see.
That's what we were going for.
Yes, well, you've achieved that. Now tell me, is there any recollection back in the times of, I'm sure it would have been horse and carriage, did you see any like post and rail type things, you know, is there any history of that?
We do have some historical photos that has been documented by various people in Toowoomba, but our involvement in this hotel doesn't stretch back that far, obviously, but so no, not a huge recollection there. We did uncover some very interesting things when we engaged on this refurbishment. We found the original basement from the Exchange Hotel in one of the wings that we demolished over there, which was quite interesting.
Did you find some gold, maybe?
we were looking around. We actually really looked at to see if we could incorporate it in this current refurbishment, but unfortunately it was too small, too short. It just wouldn't have fit into Australian building standards today.
Yes.
So unfortunately, no.
Oh, well, you know, we could always hope. We all had our hopes up, obviously.
We did try. We did try.
So can you tell me the actual name, Hackford? Can you tell me where that comes from?
Yep. So my family is Dutch, and my father emigrated with his family after the Second World War in the 1950s. And they landed in Mount Isa, and he met my mother, and thus grew their empire of hotels, etc., etc. So
wonderful. So
yeah, it's a big story.
Australia runs through your blood.
It does. It does. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So your love for Toowoomba. How many years ago did you come to Toowoomba?
Well, I used to come here playing football when I was at boarding school many moons ago. Back in 1989 was the first time I came to Toowoomba. But my family's first foray into business in Toowoomba was in 1999 at another hotel called the Newtown Hotel, which we still own to this day. We did grow our hotels in Toowoomba to 4, being this one, the Newtown, the Stock Exchange and the Gary Hotel. We've since rationalised that down to 3, and ever since then, so 20 years now, going strong, still with the same 3 hotels here.
So it must be a great pleasure for you now, people travelling from interstate Australia, round the world really. I'm sure you're going to be welcoming a lot of international guests very soon. Tell me, does it make you happy when they walk through the door and they see this? I mean, the opulence. I know Burke and Wills over the years, and I was completely overwhelmed when I walked into the door.
Yeah, it was definitely a labour of love of my entire family, myself, my father and my mother. We're all very intimately involved with the refurbishment of this hotel. We knew and we do know that it has a special place in Toowoomba's heart, and it is very well documented. So we tried to do it justice. Obviously there's a financial gain to it, and we needed to differentiate ourselves from our competition, and the Toowoomba market was becoming very congested in the 4.5-star sphere, which is where we are. So we wanted to raise that bar up to the 5-star standard, and I'm glad to hear your comments about your impressions as you walk through, because that's certainly what we were going for. And as I mentioned, it was a labour of love. We worked on this project for about 4 years prior to construction and including construction to get it right to what you see today.
Well, Toowoomba is moving ahead leaps and bounds. You can see it everywhere. I mean, we've just come from the fabulous Empire Theatre. They're in the end of their amazing renovation. You've taken, 335 days to make a dream come true.
It felt like a lot longer. It was 335 days exactly from closing the doors. And that is a challenging thing to do, to have a property of this size that doesn't make any income, and to remove your staff, to relocate them, and then to bring them back and attract new ones. It's a very difficult process, but Toowoomba's strong, to your point. Toowoomba's a very strong town. I can only really remember in the 20 years, one short period where it probably wasn't as strong as a town as what it could have been, but over the years it's been a very strong performer, and we're proud to be here. We're happy to be here.
And that shows all the time, like the passion that people who live in Toowoomba, Toowoomban's, you can see it shines through all the time. And like you say, it has a heart, but I myself did see a time in recent years where the heart seemed to be faltering a little bit, but you just had to hang on tight, and everybody, went through it, and we're all on the other side of it, and you can see the sun shining now constantly, and it's just beautiful between the airport, the fabulous new airport that the Wagners have put up, so you can fly into Toowoomba or fly into Brisbane. It's a short drive. So how long does it take you to come up from Brisbane?
Just under 2 hours, but I normally stop off and get a coffee.
Yes.
But under that 2 hour mark, but certainly over the hour and a half. And we don't want travel times to be too quick because our business is accommodation. But the construction work that is going and ongoing and in the future for Toowoomba is breathtaking at the moment.
It is.
And it doesn't look like it's ever going to end. It will, but at this stage it's very buoyant and very good.
It's positive. Now tell me something. One of my favourite features about the hotel is what you call the glasshouse conservatory.
Correct. Yep.
Now, are there more plans for functions, or what are your future for this?
Yeah, aside from the 82 hotel rooms, we did have 3 or 4 function rooms, and they all got refurbished as part of that, and we really wanted to create a very, not opulent, but very usable space for anything from weddings to corporate events to dinners that everyone could be comfortable in, and I think we've achieved that. The glasshouse, as you mentioned, is a very nice space. It's reserved for our breakfasts every morning, and it's our most popular room in the whole hotel as far as spaces go, because it's light, it's airy, it is quite nice. But the function rooms themselves are very user-friendly now. They were either very corporate or very wedding, but now they have that multi-dimensional use to them.
Terrific. We'll look forward to seeing those. Now,
Absolutely.
Can you tell me about some of the features of the rooms? Because I've only seen them on the net at the moment.
Of course.
I can't wait to see them today. But
Yes,
tell
of
me
course.
about some of your more special rooms.
So we had, prior to the refurbishment, we had 10 what we called suite rooms, which had a spa in them, a large bathroom, a king bed, and a 50-inch screen. We've expanded that to 18. So there's now 18 rooms that are of that standard, which are our 5-star rooms. They've all got their own spa. We've added into them a television that sits just at the end of the spa, so you can have a spa and watch television with the bubbles and all that.
Nice.
They all have walk-in showers, and most of them have the king-size beds. So there is a lot more of those rooms which we can offer people. They are genuine 5-star rooms. So they're about twice the size of a normal room. The other rooms, they all feature IPTV, wireless high-speed internet. So we spend a lot of money on our Wi-Fi internet here. And as a result, we have broadband over Wi-Fi in each particular room. So you'll get a seamless high-speed Wi-Fi, and it's free, I might add.
Good. Well, international guests will love that.
Correct. There's no point restricting people today. It's
No.
what people want and need.
In today, yes.
Correct. So they're just a few of the features, but they're the most sought after features in our room. Is not only a sizable room where you can stretch out, be comfortable, but the facilities, which include the televisions, large flat screen TVs, high-speed Wi-Fi, walk-in showers, and then the normal things.
And I noticed you've got some indulgence packages. Now,
Yes.
is that something you're always going to be changing? People need to be on the web all the time looking out for your new packages?
It's a permanent offer. It's more than our normal room price,
Okay.
but it comes with additional facilities that you wouldn't get in a normal package. So, and that includes a spa pack for the ladies and men if you're that way inclined. It includes a late checkout, a complimentary bottle of water, champagne, a welcome platter of cheese and biscuits when you check in, and some other little bits and pieces.
I'm so
it's
glad
there
you
all the
turned
time.
water into champagne then.
Absolutely. Sorry, I tripped
That's
over
exactly
too.
what I would love. Water, no, other champagne, yes,
Good.
thank you.
Yes. So that is complimentary, and you can get that any day of the week.
So can you tell me, if someone walked into the hotel, what would you recommend they do? Like, they're going to go over to you have like a new bar over here, do you? Or?
Yep.
And you also have, is it Zach's?
Zach's.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Zach's.
Okay, Zach's we used to call it Burke's Bar and Bistro, and it very much operated as a separate entity to the accommodation. And it was almost a tale of two businesses, the accommodation and the bar. We wanted to address that and by making our hotel guests feel more comfortable here in the hotel without having to seek an alternative place for lunch or dinner. So we opened it up, expanded the offer or changed the offer ever so slightly so it was more suiting our clientele to a meal that they could expect not only in a bistro, which is essentially a pub, but an accommodation of this style. So we took a name. So Burke and Wills used to be called Zach's at some point in the past. So the actual hotel was called Zach's. So we took that name and put it out there as almost a homage to the past. As the same we've done with most of our rooms. We've renamed one of our function rooms Lennon's Room, which is, again, homage to the original. We've also honoured the person who designed this hotel.
I see that with
Carl
Langer.
That's right. So he's the person who was very famous for designing the hotel. So we've renamed our room. We've used a bit of that, but I digress. Zach's Restaurant, the name itself is homage to the past, but it's essentially a very family-friendly restaurant, great quality food, if I do say so myself.
Well, again, looking, I haven't experienced it yet, I can't wait to, but I would compare it to Melbourne and St Kilda. I mean, this is the thing with Toowoomba. I was just making a comment. I've always called it the Paris of the West.
Yep.
But now it's becoming the St Kilda of the West because it has just got the food and the atmosphere. The people love it. There's so much to see and do. The streets, we've just been down to some of the cafes and the murals and everything.
As far as things to see and do, I think Toowoomba's, this is just a personal opinion, I think Toowoomba's parks and that recreational side of things is just amazing. Particularly on a cold winter's day, it's fresh, it's snappy, it's beautiful. The trees have lost their leaves.
Fabulous.
Absolutely.
Fresh air.
I think that's Toowoomba's niche with its gardens and its parks, and the council, and not just now but previously, ought to be commended for that, because that is what people come for, and they don't disappoint.
Well, that's the most wonderful thing. You drive down the main street, you're in no rush, you look out the window and there's fields and fields of rosemary and flowers blooming everywhere.
Beautiful.
And we're in apparently one of the worst droughts in January, and Toowoomba's still blooming.
Yes.
It's still beautiful.
Blooming gorgeous.
Exactly, blooming gorgeous. I mean, one of my favourites is Laurel Bank Park. You can go there 12 months of the year. You don't have to wait for Carnival of Flowers.
Yes.
This is a 12-month destination. And the most beautiful thing is we're so close to Brisbane, so close to so many places, the Gold Coast, everywhere, and you can go through the whole 4 season changes right here. You don't have to fly to Canada.
I agree. No, you
It's
really
all
can.
here. Yes,
you really can.
it is.
And as much of a bad rap as Toowoomba gets sometimes, winter really is a wonderful time to be in the city. It is. It's just refreshing.
Yes. Well, there's just so much to do, and I'm really excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I cannot wait for everyone to hear about the Burke and Wills. Can't wait for the place to be full every day.
We look forward to seeing them.
Even though sometimes I regret sharing. But this is a real tribute to you and your family.
Thank
and
you.
you can definitely see your passions come through in the designs. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful right here at the Burke and Wills for Travel Rural Now.